You know what? I've decided to not review the iPad Air M2, but since I've been using this for a while now, I think I have enough experience to actually answer the most commonly asked questions about the new iPad Air M2. So in this video, I'm going to answer the top 5. Let's go. What's up guys, Jason Smashpop here. So here I have the 11-inch iPad Air M2 that was just released recently, okay? And the specs that I have in here is 1 terabyte. But don't fret because it actually comes in a few specifications: 128, 256, 512, and of course the 1 terabyte version. And this new version of the iPad Air M2 comes in a few colors, and this one is blue. So let's start with the most commonly asked question. So to be honest, every iPad can do homework or schoolwork or office work, especially the iPads from M1 onwards, because their processing is very good and also very fast, okay? iPad OS itself is a very efficient OS whereby you can work on all these things without any lag at all. Especially, for example, if you want to do Word documents, if you want to type, if you want to do calculations on sheets or even on numbers, those actually can be done without any problem at all, so you really don't have to worry, okay? And if you want to better the experience doing office or schoolwork with the iPad Air, there are actually accessories that can help you work better. For example, a smart keyboard so that you can type better, and you can also get the Apple Pencil so you can actually draw or write better on your documents. Like what I mentioned, since it's an iPad OS, it is not your desktop OS, okay? So if you are coming from a MacBook or even a Windows laptop, you might find it a little bit difficult to perform things you usually do on your laptop, okay? So you need a little bit of time to actually learn how the apps work and also figure out certain limitations on the iPad OS itself. Speaking of Apple Pencil as an accessory, they also launched the new Apple Pencil Pro, okay? Now, every iPad can actually work with 2 types of Apple Pencil. The new iPad Air M2 can work with Apple Pencil Pro and also the previous generation, which is the Apple Pencil Type-C. Now with the Apple Pencil, you can actually unlock a lot of possibilities on the iPad, okay? Not just iPad Air actually, with any iPads. For example, the new iPad Pro as well. Now, you can also use Scribble, which is a technology they introduced a while back, whereby you can write and then it will turn your handwriting into normal text on the screen. Apart from that, if you are using the new Apple Pencil Pro, you also get these new gestures whereby when you squeeze, you actually get to launch this new palette whereby you can access multiple types of tools for you to write or draw or sketch. Continuing from the previous question, for example, if you are doing your office work or even if you're a teacher, you know, if you're doing school work, you can actually use the Apple Pencil to scribble or annotate and write your little notes on top of whatever that is on the screen. For example, a PDF file, you know, you can actually write those things and then send to people with your handwriting. Note taking is also very simple on the iPad Air because of the big screen. With the handwriting recognition feature, you can actually write in your handwriting or turn it into normal text on the screen. Also, if you're using the new Apple Pencil Pro, they also have this barrel roll feature whereby you can actually twist and tilt to get different textures and also orientation of your brush or even your highlighter on the screen. So if you are like an artist, you can actually use the Apple Pencil Pro to launch a lot of amazing things and also do a lot of amazing things on the iPad Air M2. That's a great question because the new iPad Air M2 now comes in 2 sizes. This is the 11-inch that I mentioned just now. There's also a 13-inch, so now you have the option to get a smaller or a bigger version. Now when you compare both the screens, you actually can see difference, okay? On the 11-inch, you get to see whatever that you see like an iPad, right? Because previously the iPad Air is also similar size. But when you compare it to a bigger screen, you actually get to see a lot more when you are surfing on Safari. Like what you see here, you get to see an extra page more of text and visuals with spacing and padding on the left and right. But it also depends on what kind of apps you use. Okay, for example, on YouTube, the app does not utilize the extra space for extra content. It actually just enlarges the whole app to fit the screen. So for apps like this, it really doesn't matter which screen you should get, because the amount of things you see on the two different sizes of screen depends on what apps you use. So how fast is the M2 and how great the performance is on this new iPad Air? Well, according to Apple, it's almost 50% better or faster than the previous generation, okay? But if you ask me, the previous generation is already very fast, and to be honest, I cannot feel how much faster this iPad Air M2 is compared to the previous generation. Like for example, if I'm playing game, as you can see here, it works flawlessly. The graphics plays tremendously good, okay? And it was also like that for me in the previous generation. So I would say if you want to get the M2, it's most likely is to future-proof yourself. In case you don't want to keep changing iPads, then this might actually last you for a lot longer. Hence, if you ask me, performance M2, good or not, I would say good, and also good for the near future as well. So apart from the M2 chip, which is new, and also the new colors like the blue, purple and stuff like that, and also the two sizes 11-inch and 13-inch, the new iPad Air M2 also has a camera position change. Now the camera is not on this side anymore, it's actually on the top side when you're holding it or placed on the table in a landscape format. Hence, they are calling it the landscape camera, okay? Now with the proper camera position in the middle, it is a lot better when you are using it for, say, FaceTime call, video conferencing, because the camera angle will be right in front of your face instead of from the side, okay? Camera specs wise, it's also the same as previous generation, 12 megapixel on the front and also 12 megapixels on the back. So now that I've answered all the 5 most commonly asked questions, I think you are able to decide now which iPad to buy and also whether you should buy the new iPad Air M2, okay? Now the two sizes of course come in two different pricing. The 11-inch, which is this one, starts from 2,999 and the 13-inch starts from 3,999. It's 1,000 ringgit difference, okay, for the starting price depending on what specs you want to add into the iPad you want to buy, okay? So make sure to go to the Apple website, scroll, play through the options and pick the one that you want and then think, is this the right one for me? Like that, okay? So if you have any more questions, you can also send to me via DM on Instagram. My Instagram handle is smashpop, and if you love gadget videos like this, don't forget to also subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends because they might want to know about the new iPad Air M2. Follow me on all social platforms and I'll see you in the next video. Yo!